Hey everybody, and welcome back to Autumn Lee at Home. I'm Autumn Lee if you're new. Today we need to organize and tackle this house. We have moved out of our rather large house because we are in the process of buying a farm, and I'm so excited about that. But in the meantime, we have moved in with my parents. I am a mom of four. We are a family of six, moving in with our parents until we can get out to the farm. So follow along with me today as we organize and clean up this mess. I can tell you the moving process wasn't exactly a fun process, as I'm sure many of you probably can attest to that. Moving was not fun. We have a lot more stuff. Somehow, even after spending about 6 months decluttering our 2,600 square foot house, we just had so much stuff. It just kept coming out of the woodworks. So with that being said, we were able to get all of our stuff down in my parents' basement, and the rest of it is up here is stuff that we actually need to use. We can't just put in storage because we are going to be living here for hopefully a couple months as we not only purchase the farm but also start to kind of renovate it and redo it a little bit. We're just going to do a little bit when we first get there, but this is all stuff that we use frequently, so I need to organize it and put it away. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is organizing, decluttering a little bit, and just trying to make this house livable again. I will show you before and afters of what this house, I also have a video that I did a walkthrough of this house and what it looks like. It's my parents' house. I can put that at the end of this video and down in the description so that you can see the before and after. But I'll also kind of share clips of that video in this one to show you the rooms before and after we moved in, what it's kind of looking like now. And as we progress, I will show you a different video a couple weeks from now showing what it looks like as we're living here, kind of how we're keeping it organized and living here for just about a month. So we're not really like fully moving in, but we need to get things functional. This is not functional. So that's what we're going to do today. That's the goal. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I am so grateful you have joined us today. As you can tell, we were exhausted at this point. We had been moving for like 5 days straight. It was just slight chaos, but we'll call it beautiful chaos because there is a means to the end. We will be getting the farm soon, hopefully, as long as everything goes well. And by clicking that subscribe button, you will be notified of the upcoming videos. This is the girls' room. We don't have all of their clothes in here yet. These drawers are empty, so I'm hoping to put the stuff in there. Obviously, you can tell the past 5 days, it took us 5 days to move out, and we even hired help to help us get the big furniture and some of the boxes, and then the rest of it was my husband and I. So we're tired. We took last night off. We decided just to rest last night and this morning. So now it's time to get this place squared away because we're getting to the point where we can't walk, and my parents come home in about a week. So I want to make sure that we have this place kind of picked up and back to a functioning normal-ish before they get here. So that's the goal for today, as well as over the next few days, is for me to try to get this place kind of organized, and I will bring you along for that. So next up is my kids' room, my boys' room. Obviously, not much better. So this is my son's room. We are going to try to put a TV right there so that they have a space they can come to even when my dad is here and my husband's here and everybody's wanting to watch something, just for the time being. Obviously, when we get to the farm, the goal is to play outside, and they are actually enjoying a larger backyard here already, which is great. But to kind of just keep things a semi-normal for now, just because we're here for a month, we're going to try to make it easier on the kids too and provide that for them. So right now, this is where one of my sons sleeps, my oldest one, and then my 13-year-old son, he is sleeping right here on the mattress on the floor. So that allows us to, not have to set up a whole nother bed, which is the goal. And we're going to create a space again with the TV. We'll organize it a lot better, clean it up. Right now it looks kind of messy. This son is a lot neater because you can tell he has his things more organized down here. Whereas my other son, very different personalities, which is fine. God made them both, very unique in their own way. But we're going to work on the organizing, and they're going to help, and we will get this functioning and looking a lot better. So follow along on that journey. This will not be a one video and done, because again, we're buying a farm and we will be moving out to the farm, organizing it. I will love to show you around on the farm once we have finished purchasing it. Obviously there's ups and downs between now and then. Hopefully nothing falls through. That is our goal, because we've already sold our other house. We are officially sold. We are officially moved. So now the hope is that we can follow through with the buying of the farm, move on out there. There are some really fun aspects to the farm that I'm so excited to share with y'all. So definitely come on back. I will put a playlist down in the description that is Journey to the Homestead, I think is what I named the playlist, but it's down in the description. You're welcome to follow along. I will continue to add videos to that playlist so that you can come on back and enjoy the show. But we will go ahead and get tackling on all of this, and I can show you the before and after of that as well. As you can see, trying to fit 2 homes into 1 home is no easy task. We took our 2,600 square foot house and literally moved it into my parents' house. Thankfully, they have the space to allow us to do this, and as well as us live and move here. So most of our stuff is down in the basement, along with a lot of their stuff. And then on top of that, we are trying to keep things out because we're going to be here 1 to 2 months. We don't know exactly the time frame. I want to say it's probably going to end up being around 1.5 months, but we want to purchase the farm, and then there's some things that we need to do to the farm, such as change the roof out, and some other things as well before we move in would be ideal. Now, of course, I will give you guys, as long as everything goes through okay and there's no issues, I will give you a tour as soon as we close on the farm. I will give you a farm tour or a homestead tour. That way you guys can see what it looks like before we even start any of that. I will talk through the things that we're thinking of doing. A lot of it's going to be over time though. We don't plan to move anywhere anytime soon after moving to this farm. We would like to think it's our forever home, but saying that isn't really exactly fair either, because we want to do what God calls us to do, and right now this is what we feel led to do and what we feel like God is calling us to do. So we are excited to move out there, and of course I will give you the whole farm tour, show you everything, all the pieces to it, and I'm so excited to get to that step. But for now, we need to make this house functional as well as make it livable for my parents. So eventually my goal is to make their main living quarters, such as the kitchen, eating area, living room, and their bedroom we haven't touched or done anything with at all in the first place. So really the main living quarters kind of back to what it looked like before for the most part. The upstairs, however, unfortunately, there's not really spaces to put stuff, and she did clean out the dressers, which was a huge help. So like my boys' clothes, we definitely had them put their clothes in the dresser. The girls, I wasn't really sure if it would fit, so we're still kind of playing around with that. But when you have stuff, you don't really want to create homes for each item. So everything you see here, I'm trying to find a new home for it, because right now, we don't have a linen closet, we don't have a coat closet, we don't have closets in general. We're just going to be here for 1.5 months. So trying to find spaces that we can put it. So unfortunately, that tends to mean along the walls, on the floor, but in an organized manner, and trying to make it work just for this 1.5 months. And I'm very grateful for their patience, my parents' patience, and my kids as well. My kids are rock stars. They are pulling through this. We were all exhausted on this day when it was the day after we moved in. So a lot of these video footage that I'm showing you are just, when I show you the back-to-back videos and pictures of the same room, the first one you see is before we moved in. That's going to be from the previous clip, the previous video that I show that I'm going to put on the end of this video, so you can see what the house looked like, how beautiful and clean and pretty it was before we moved in. But you'll get to see that video and clips from it, as well as the second. If you again see the same picture, 3 pictures in a row of the same room, the first one is before we moved in, the second one is like right now, right after we moved in, the next day, and then the third one is after about 9 or 10 days. When you have this much everywhere, it's hard to know where to start. So I'm trying to give myself the quick wins that also clear a lot of space at one time. So that is what I'm going for first, because looking around, it can be very overwhelming. When you are overwhelmed and you're trying to declutter, one of the things that helps me is going for the easy wins of things that will clear the floor space, large spaces, or things that I already know have a home. So try to focus on one thing at a time, because if you look at the entire room, you are going to be overwhelmed. Y'all, I promise we're not slobs. We normally are very, for the most part, organized and clean, but again, we're trying to fit 8 people in this house with 2 households worth of stuff. We're just trying to make it work for a short while, make it functional. I do need my kids to clean up their rooms a lot more than they have been, but I will work on that. Right now, my focus has been elsewhere, so I have not stayed on top of them about stuff like that, just because, again, I'm trying to make this house livable to where when my parents get home, they don't panic a little bit. So we're getting there. It's a slow process because, again, we can't really put things away. Nothing has a home. It's just all trying to figure out where we can put it for now to make it work. Here is the part of the video that I was telling you about, where the first video is before we moved in, second one is right after we moved in, and third one is after we've been living here for about 9 or 10 days. So as you can see the progression of each room, some of the video footage are clips from the previous video that, like I said, I'm going to link on at the end of this video, so you can go watch the whole thing if you'd like to see a house tour before we moved in. That way you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. But those clips aren't exactly the best clips because I didn't do like a full room span of some of the rooms. So I'm just kind of piecing together a few of them. But that way you get an idea of what the rooms looked like prior to us moving in, as well as right after we move in, and how much chaos there was. And then the third one being, you know, after we've lived there for about 9 or 10 days. And of those 9 or 10 days, we were actually still moving 5 of those days. So we weren't even here 5 of those days, and we were exhausted. So then we took a day off. So really, we've just been organizing for a few days. So we are getting there. Again, this is kind of the before and after of for now. And then I will show you later on in a couple weeks what it looks like before or after we've been here for a few weeks and we've gotten into kind of a routine. Now that my parents are living here and we're here, we also have family dogs, because I have 1 dog, our family has 1 dog. My parents have 2 service training dogs that are in the process of learning how to be service dogs. So we try to keep them a little bit separated unless they're learning to play properly. And then we have my stepbrother and his wife are out of town. So we're watching their 2 dogs as well as their farm, which that's been so fun. The kids have enjoyed doing that. But having the 5 dogs here has just been, you know, with 8 people, there's a lot going on. So we're giving ourselves grace that no, it's not going to be the picture perfect house, but it is, you know, it's a work in progress. I just want to take this time to say thank you for joining us here today at Autumn Lee at Home. We have gotten a lot done. We are continuing to organize and get organized every day. My parents have arrived from out of town. I think we're on about day 10 or so, and the house is starting to look a lot better. We still have a long ways to go though. So in a couple weeks, I will update you guys and kind of show you around, show you how we're living, because we're only going to be here for like 4 weeks. So we don't want to like fully put things away, but at the same time, we need them to be functional. So with that being said, we have assimilated with 8 people living here. There's also currently 5 dogs living here. Thankfully, all of them are potty trained and very well potty trained. They're doing really great. That won't last forever. That's only for 1 week that we're gonna have 5 dogs here. But it is a crazy madhouse right now. And I'm grateful that everybody's getting along, everything's going smoothly. We will continue to figure out like new routines and organize things in a way that will allow us to just function well for the next few weeks. And I'm grateful for their patience, their patience with our family, with 8 people being here. It's hard to go from only 2 to 8 in one house, plus, a lot of dogs. So we are currently on the road to the farm, and you can follow along with that. I will put that playlist down in the description below. But again, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you guys next time.